The ability to work with an organization, with an orchestra, throughout the course of an entire season and get to be involved in their planning process, involved in the rehearsals for several concerts, getting to know the players in the orchestra, that was really huge. I told the orchestra at the conclusion of my residency, I said, I really feel like I'm a part of the orchestra now, which was really great because my premiere happened on the last concert of the season. And so prior to that, I was working with the orchestra on existing pieces. I got to know the players. I got to know the conductor, of course, really well. And so I was emailing, calling different players in the orchestra, percussionists especially, because I had a lot of special percussion effects in my piece, and asking them what kind of instruments they had, how would they like to break out the different instruments, and things of that nature. So for the composer to do more than just fly in and have their piece performed and say a couple things and fly out, this was really, I felt like a holistic experience. You know, talking about this commission club that existed in Green Bay, this was a group of people that banded together to raise money to fund future commissions of orchestra pieces after the Meet the Composer residency had expired. And so one of the perks of being in this club is that they got to have special meetings, special dinners with the composer, and I got to know this very lovely group of people quite well. I would post on their blog. They had a blog that everybody looked at quite frequently. And so I would talk about my experience writing the piece. I gave them the sneak preview as to what the title of the piece was going to be before anybody else knew. I told them what the instrumentation was going to be, the percussion list, which was really quite lengthy and somewhat exotic. And then actually when I was in Green Bay working, I had my laptop with me, and almost in real time I was able to post a lot of pictures and video to the blog so that people could really get a sense of what was happening. Even if they weren't actually at these school visits, they got a sense of what I was doing during my week there, and there was a real buy-in to the whole composer residency as a result of that. So that was a nice way of tying in both the personal connections that I was having with the Commission Club, as well as using some very commonly available technologies to create a larger sense of ownership for the whole project. I think it's important for composers and orchestras to dream big, to be aspirational, but also understand that there's a practical limit sometimes to what can actually be achievable given the resources that an orchestra has. And it's also important for composers to realize that even though the composer residency is important, it's only one of many aspects of an orchestra's daily life. They've got fundraising activities, marketing things to take care of, day-to-day operational challenges that they face. And so anything that a composer can do to help move the composer residency along to actually make things practically happen, I think that's actually very important. And case in point, there was one project that I was very proud of in Green Bay, and this was the composition project for young students. Coincidentally, a local television station contacted the orchestra, and because they saw a press release about my work, and they said, hey, we'd like to do a news segment. Can we interview the composer? And by the way, we need to have this up in about 48 hours. And so with the orchestra's permission, I actually established direct contact with the television producer. And it was great because they came and we actually shot a little bit of an interview ahead of time, and then they stayed around for the rehearsal and shot some footage of me working with the students, and it was on the local morning news for a 2-minute segment the next day. So that really worked out really well. So anything the composer can do to really, get in there sometimes and move things along, I think is appreciated on all fronts. I think, when talking about the quantifiable aspects of the residency, one thing that I did when I spoke with the board of the Green Bay Symphony at the conclusion of my residency is I put together a little list of all the different schools, all the different events that I spoke at. It was literally in the thousands of people, and then I even put together a little map. I plotted the points on the map of where I went to show how the composer can really, in a very short amount of time, get around the entire region and spread the word of the orchestra. That translates into ticket sales, it translates into visibility, and of course it translates into more people hearing new music, and that's what it's really about.
I'm Ed Harsh. I'm the president of Meet the Composer. What you've just seen is people who have been involved in Music Alive residencies talking about their experience and talking about how it really worked for them. We want to help you take the next step, how you can build on these models that you see in the videos and make them work for you and your situation. Talk to us. Bring your ideas. We'd really like to see if there's a way that we can help you think through how the Music Alive program might actually work for you.